Good zoo. I like zoos. You like zoos? I like good zoos. I don't like them. You ever been to a bad zoo with just regular critters, you know, like a bunny and a skunk and a goat and a cow, you know, crippled deer over there. The rhinoceros is just some fat kid with a chocolate-covered banana strapped to his forehead. Which, by the way, is the worst job I ever had in my entire life, by the way. Let me just say that. Every time I go to the zoo, all the good animals I want to see are sleeping already. What the hell? It's like Cosby got there 20 minutes before I did. What? Oh, come on. That's funny. I don't care who you are right there. Come on now. Hey, I told that joke at the zoo and the hyenas laughed their ass off at that, all right? Weirdest thing I ever seen at a zoo was a bunch of penguins and nuns.
Cassie. Nobody ever talks about this. Nobody ever acknowledges this. We just take our little roll-around suitcase and walk to baggage claim, popping them off like a trail horse. Okay, let me tell you what makes me feel better. When I write this stuff, I don't know if it's just me or not. But when you laugh like that and start punching each other, I know there's others in the club. And I think that's why TSA is always in such a bad mood, by the way.
Branson. I like Branson. It's fun. There's a lot of old folks down there, though. Good heavens. They had a show down there called Shake, Rattle, and Roll. I went to it. Turned out to be the audience trying to get to their seats. It's bad. I performed down there. I made an old woman laugh so hard, milk of magnesia come out of her nose. All right, I ain't kidding with you. They got a lot of storms down there that crop up. It's crazy. I was down there one year with my wife and my kids and my brother and my sister-in-law, biggest somebody you ever seen in your whole life, and about 270 pounds, 4'6". And everywhere we went, she was dressed in full camo. Everywhere we went, looked like we was walking around with a couple acres down there. You know, everywhere we went down there. You know, some people got their name on their belt. She had everybody's name on her belt, all right? She's a big one. But we was down there, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this tornado crop up. So the police car driving down the street with a megaphone going, funnel cloud, funnel cloud, funnel cloud. So we hauled out. She stayed out there. She thought they was yelling, funnel cake, funnel cake, funnel cake. And she got hit dead on with a tornado that didn't even budge her. She's bald. A little different than most people. When I hunt, I dress all in orange from head to toe. And I hunt down by the interstate. That way the deer just think I'm a prisoner picking up trash out there. For y'all that don't hunt, did you know this? Did you know a deer gets a new rack every year, just like the Kardashians? Did you know that's true right there? I had a buddy of mine got in trouble. He was hunting. He called me up and says, I'm in jail. I said, what's wrong? He says, I don't know. The game warden put me in jail. It's ridiculous. I said, what'd you do? He says, nothing. I shot 2 wild turkeys. He put me in jail. He can't do it just, no, I shot 2 wild turkeys. He put me in jail. He's a communist. I'm gonna go down and see what happened. I go down there about to raise a fuss. Turns out he did 2 shots of wild turkey and accidentally shot the game warden. All right, that's what happened. And his cousin was in a car accident. His face is all disfigured. And he told me the other day, I'm the ugliest man in the world. I just want to kill myself. And I said, come on now, you ain't either. So I wanted to cheer him up. So I run him up to Walmart for a few hours. And it worked. Turns out he's the 37th. People get nuts over that, don't they? Man caused globe. We need to do something about the way we live and we heating up the earth. Oh, shut up. Well, you seen what happened in Washington, D.C.? 27 inches of snow. Explain that. All right, February. How's that? I ain't Nostradamus, but I have a guess what's going to happen in July, too. Hot. All right, it's going to be hot in July. I mean, it's stupid. I got a buddy of mine. Well, you go ahead and laugh. The Earth's heated up 0.7 of a degree in the last 100 years. Oh, well, what the hell? Go home and stab yourself in the face, then. End it, all right? Just end it if it's that bad. How many people have ever gone outside in 100-degree weather and said, boy, I'll tell you what, it feels 3/4 of a degree hotter out here this year than it did last year. There's something going on in this country. Well, I like that warm weather. I don't like humidity, though. I lived in Florida for a long time, and you get to sticking down here good night. I had to shoot baby powder up there about every 3 minutes. I was down there in Florida. My mom had to make me a pair of boxer shorts out of a chamois when I was down there. I couldn't believe it. It was so hot in Florida one time, my grandpa replaced his hemorrhoidal suppositories with dilly bars. Dilly bars. This show should have been $300 a piece. All right, I'm telling you right now. That's a $300 joke right there. But it's hot in Florida in the summer. I remember in August one time I had a buddy of mine about 420 pounds. He'd leave my Target with a little plastic kiddie pool. I said, you ain't gonna fit in that to be cool. And a lot of people, it's a heart attack or diabetes, and then let me tell you what happened to me 2 weeks ago. For the first time in my life, I had to show my titties to get out of a ticket. But I did see something that did change my life. I was reading an article the other day, and it said carbohydrates is the fastest way to the grave. And I told my wife right then after I read it, I said, sweetheart, mark this down on the calendar right now, from now on, done. I'm not reading nothing. All right? I ain't read nothing since. My wife has me on a diet now she come up with called the We're Not Having Sex Till You Lose Weight diet. That's what she had me on. This is my impression of my wife when we're making love. I've tried a lot of stuff, tried a dietitian. They're just taking your money. I go see a dietitian. You know what he says to me? Larry, you need to eat 6 times a day. I do that now. What the hell, if I eat 1 more time a day, you're going to see me at Walmart on a scooter wearing pajama jeans. All right, that's ridiculous. Went to see a trainer. The trainer says to me, how many push-ups? Makes me madder than Ronnie Millsap in a corn maze. I tell you what, it's irritating. That happened to me last week. This made me madder than a hunchback in a hailstorm. I go out to hailstorm. I go out there's a hunchback in a hailstorm. So I go out to eat at this diner. I'm starving, and the waitress come over. She says, what do you want to eat? I said, what's wrong? She goes, you look just like the cook. I go, get the hell out of here. She goes, no, you could be his twin brother. I ain't kidding with you. Well, let me see him. He comes out, what the hell? Ugliest mongoloid I ever seen in my entire life. I ain't kidding with you. You should have seen, looked like they've been cleaning a grill with his face for 10 years, all right? Biggest head I ever seen. You ought to seen his head. His driver's license was an eyebrow. I ain't making that up. It's unbelievable. And I looked identical to him. It pissed me off. Just with a littler head. She's like, what do you want to eat? It's on the house. I lost my appetite, all right? Maybe some eggs with some arsenic in it be good about right now. Pissed me off. This irritated me too the other day. Made me madder than a fat guy in a porta potty with little arms trying to wipe his ass crack. I tell you what. I've done that well my whole life. You don't want to get caught drinking and driving. You a celebrity, you make the news. I remember the cake boss, Buddy Velasco, got a DUI. Can you imagine the cake boss in jail? I wonder if he took it in the bunt. Took it in a bunt. Start the bus. I had a buddy of mine retiring from the military. We took him to Las Vegas. He got hammered one night and picked up a redhead transvestite, and I tried to stop him. I'm like, don't do it. You don't know what you... Too late, he done it. Next morning, I see him hunched out there on the bench. I'm like, hey, how'd that work out for you last night? He said, it was weird. Not only did the drapes match the carpet, but I think I seen a curtain rod in there. They didn't want me to perform. They just wanted me to show up, show the troops what they used to look like before they went to boot camp. So I went down there. I got to lose some weight. My tapeworm had a heart attack last week, all right? It ain't funny. You know you got to lose weight when you can use the back of your neck as a travel pillow. Ain't my fault I gained a little weight. It's Foxworth.
Well, I said, well, we got to the golf course and we went to the driving range first. So we're sitting there hitting balls, and I say to him, I said, so how are things at home? And he said, ugh. That's my report. You didn't ask him anything else? No, we started talking about football after that. She's like, how can men be so emotionally unattached? I said, well, that's just the way we're wired. We can't afford to be emotionally attached. Not the way we talk to each other. This is the way men talk to our friends, the guys we love the most. A guy will be walking down the street, see one of his best friends and say, Mike, how you doing? I love that shirt. Did Elton John have a yard sale? What the hell do you weigh now? About 2 tons? Good God, dude, eat a salad, you bald-headed fat bastard. That's how we talk to our friends. I told my wife, if women talk to their friends the way men talk to our friends, y'all would never get out of bed. It would be fun to watch, so. Phyllis, is that a vein on your leg or a tattoo of the Amazon River? Judy, I love those stretch pants. Did you drop a bag of marbles in the back of them? Yeah, stretch